my friends. How are you guys doing today? I hope everybody's having a great day. Thanks for stopping in. Thanks for hanging out with me for just a few minutes and talking about some movies. Today, guys, we're going to be talking about something that just dropped on Netflix. But before we do, hit that like and subscribe button so you can get notified when I post new content, guys. Today, we're talking about a limited series directed by Mr. Peter Berg called American Primeval. Now, guys, I saw a preview for this, and I thought to myself, this looks stellar. It looks like a fantastic Western, almost in like the vein of The Revenant or Unforgiven or something like that. You know, it looked gritty, it looked intense, it looked, really good. I was excited for it. I was super excited for it. So I dive into it. It's only 6 episodes long, so I thought, all right, 6 episodes. Let's see what kind of story they can tell. And here's the thing, guys. I didn't care for it. I'm just going to start off with that, and we'll get into why. It has a story. It's about this pioneer woman. She takes her son out into the wilds of Utah. And this film deals a lot with the Mormons and the Mormons' conflict with the United States government and Indians and settlers and just, all these interacting different cultures and peoples and stuff. And so she's taken her son out into Mormon territory. She's trying to get to the son's father, which the son's father doesn't know that he has a son. And so she winds up, it starts off bad for her. She winds up losing her money. She winds up losing her transportation. She gets into this wild, rowdy town and people are just getting shot and hung and it's crazy. And so she finds her way into the good graces of a hunter, fur trapper. He says he'll take her. And that's pretty much the gist of our story for her. And then we have the story of, there's another girl. If you can't tell, this is like a kind of a feminine forward Western. Not as good as Godless, though. Godless was far better, female-centric Western that focused on feminine heroes and things like that. But back to American Primeval, we have another female character called Abish. Now, Abish she's a Mormon wife, but she kind of put... Her sister was supposed to marry the guy, but her sister died, so she was the one who got pawned off on him, and she's just not happy with it. She gets, she's part of this Mormon party. They get raided by Indians. She becomes kind of like an Indian slave, I guess, and we follow her story from there. And then we follow her husband, who is, it's just, there's a lot of characters, and even though the story makes sense, it feels like it's not told cohesively. There's a lot of jumping around and stuff, which I didn't like. Another thing is some of the characterizations really, really irritated me. And by that, I mean when our main character, our lady, she gets into this town and she sees the rough and tumble nature, the lawlessness of this town. She knows what she's gotten herself into. But yet she keeps denying it to herself about the position she's in. So she finds herself in another position with this trapper that is taking her and her son a place. He tells her, no, don't do that. She does it anyway. They get into a predicament. She does this a few times. And now here's my thing. There's an instance in the film where some really terrible things happen. And it could have all been avoided if she would have just listened to the guide, right? Don't do that, but she doesn't. She goes anyway, and horrible things happen. And then after these horrible things, and they find themselves out of this situation, he starts to apologize to her for the situation. And she's like, no, it was my fault. But here's my thing. If I am your guide, if I have taken some, and maybe this is just my character flaw. Maybe this is me. Maybe, AITA. But that's what I'm saying. Because here's what I would have done. If she would have gotten me into that situation and we, somehow miraculously got out of it, and she started getting, upset or whatever, I'd have been like, all of this, everything that just happened was caused by you. So yeah, cry, be upset because it's all your fault. Everything that just happened because you didn't listen to someone who has been living out here, who has been there. And to me, that is a like, that's a character flaw, yes, but it's a serious character flaw that someone in that situation, I feel, would learn pretty quickly. Oh crap, I need to listen to the man who's been living here for decades, who can speak the native language. To me, that is sloppy, lazy writing. If you can't have your characters learn pretty quickly not to do things, and I have to go through 3 episodes of a 6-episode series watching this person make an ass of themselves by not listening to the experts, that turns me off to the show. I don't want to watch characters that are unbelievably naive. I don't want to see that. You know, and luckily though, the last 3 episodes of the show really make up for the first 3, because that's when we get into our meat and potatoes of the actual storytelling. Here's my thing. Just make the film, just make a movie, Peter Berg. Don't make it a 6-hour series that you have three episodes of filler because you don't build a character well enough to relate to. 3 episodes, we watch characters that we don't like. I don't like the lady with her son. The fur trapper guy, he's an okay character, but he's also a character that I'm like, this guy, he's almost too much of a hard ass, you know? I just don't like that. Now, I will tell you one thing. There is Dane DeHaan and Shea Wiggum. Now, Shea Wiggum, this dude is awesome. I love him. He's great. He was in, Kong Skull Island. He's the guy who pulled the grenade and he's like, come on and eat me, and the thing whips him with the tail into the mountain. That's Shea Wiggum. He is great in this as Bridger. He's like the guy who owns the fort that the Mormons are trying to buy. And he is fantastic. He's the best character in this whole show. He puts on an acting clinic in some of these scenes. He is fantastic. Dane DeHaan, I can't stand that cat. I haven't liked him since Chronicle. I don't think he's a good actor. I think he's very one-dimensional. And in this, the same way. Maybe they like him because he has a unique looking face, but he played the Green Goblin or Hobgoblin, some goblin in one of the Spider-Man movies. He was in Chronicle. He was in Valerian. He's a terrible actor. And if I'd have known he was in this show, I probably wouldn't have watched it to begin with, because I really, really do not like his acting. And I don't even like looking at his face. It's off-putting. But he's in this. He's the husband of the girl who gets kidnapped by the Indians. Overall, the acting performances, aside from Dane DeHaan, they're okay. Betty Gilpin's decent as the naive pioneer woman, but just her character, it's a symptom of poor writing. It's a symptom of this Netflix era of limited series where if you get 6 episodes to develop a great story, or to develop your story, I guess. It doesn't necessarily have to be great, as we can see by American Primeval. But you have a story that it takes 3 episodes to really get into the meat and potatoes of, out of 6 episodes. That bothers me, because if you can't get me engaged in that first episode, and if you can't really make me engage with your characters, enjoy the settings. Now, that's one thing I will say. The settings are amazing. Cinematography, incredible. Beautiful, sweeping landscapes. The drone flies over the snow-frosted woods, and you see the rivers going. It's beautiful cinematography. Beautiful. It just falls flat when it comes to the writing. Peter Berg did a good job directing, but he don't need to be writing these things. Him and another guy wrote this. I didn't even commit the other guy's name to memory because I don't care, because the writing was lazy and sloppy. I was expecting a great American Western, and I got, I don't know, made-for-TV movie. I don't know what to call it, guys, but it just didn't resonate with me. I didn't care for it. I thought that the majority of the film was just kind of lackluster. I say film, it's a series, you know what I mean. But other than that, you can check it out if you want to. I'm going to give it 2 thumbs down because it wasn't for me. But it's streaming over on Netflix if you want to, guys. I've given you pretty much everything I can on it about, the acting and the writing. And everything, if it all came together, it'd have been great. But it just didn't mesh with me. So that's it, guys. Thanks for stopping by. I'm going to stop rambling. If you haven't already, hit that like and subscribe button for me, guys. And as always, I'm going to keep making them as long as you guys keep watching them. Peace out, my friends. God bless you, and I will see you soon.